on to the AFC. We have the Bills versus the Chiefs. Seems like we're down this road yet again with these two teams. Last year it was the same thing, but in the divisional round. This time we have a rematch in the championship round. I was wrong about the Ravens, unfortunately. I wanted them to win so badly. We'll get to that a little bit later. But speaking on this game, we have the Bills. I think the Bills are a worse version than what they were last year. I think the talent from an offensive perspective with Stephon Diggs there, now they don't have a Stephon Diggs anymore. I think that hurts them a little bit. But Josh Allen has improved. That's what's the biggest improvement of this team is Josh Allen. Him not putting the ball in harm's way as much anymore. He won against the Ravens because he didn't put the ball in harm's way, because he capitalized off their mistakes. And that is growth. Because normally Josh Allen in previous years, he would try to be Superman and try to make a play when he shouldn't have. And it's a pick. It's an interception. It's a fumble. With this game, I think what this boils down to is the Bills' defense. Will they be dominant enough to really rattle Patrick Mahomes? Mm-hmm. I believe this is a worse Bills defense than the previous season. The lack of talent, they lost some dudes, they lost some guys. Guys got older, coming off injuries. I don't see how this Bills defense can really make it difficult for Patrick Mahomes. I understand that Sean McDermott, his scheme is a bend but not break type of defense. It's worked. They've made it to this point. But Patrick Mahomes, I think the offense is a little bit better from a talent perspective than it was last year. Mm. And Patrick Mahomes won and beat the Bills last year. I just can't see the Chiefs losing.
On the road, too.
Yeah, on the road. Now they're in Kansas City. I don't see them losing this year. I think the Chiefs' defense is still great. That offense has more talent than what it had last year, and they won the Super Bowl. I don't see them losing. I just think the Chiefs are Thanos. Doesn't matter what you do. They have all the Infinity Stones. And if you don't have a team that's loaded with talent, if you don't have great coaching, if you don't have the right defensive pieces, you're not beating the Chiefs, in my opinion. Mm. And that's how I look at it right now. I know it's very simple. I know I'm not giving you like very in-depth analysis, but when it comes to these two teams, that's all I got to really say on that matter. We can only go off history, man. So what do you think?
The score is 3-0 in favor of the Chiefs as of right now.
In the playoffs, yeah. So what do you think? How does this game go?
Okay, in my opinion, this game is going to come down to execution. The Ravens lost last week because they couldn't execute. They had turnovers, drops, all kind of stuff. The Chiefs, I don't think the Chiefs are going to do any of that foolishness, especially at home. They're a very disciplined team, very well-coached team. The Bills, in my opinion, they skated. They skated last week.
They were getting exposed. Yeah. If Mark Andrews, God bless Mark Andrews, but if he didn't fumble the ball and he didn't drop that pass, boy, Josh Allen would have been.
And if Lamar wasn't turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Like it kind of felt like the Ravens lost that game more than the Bills won it outright.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs, they just got the Bills. Now, I know that the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but that was like regular season. Stuff happens. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs this game. Like you said, I pretty much agree with pretty much everything you just said as far as the defense, as far as the offensive weapons being better. And I feel like the Bills are a worse team defensively than they were last year. And I'm not sure if, Josh Allen, well, he didn't throw for many yards last week. Khalil Shakir had 67 yards.
Yeah.
And he was the number one receiver.
Yeah.
I think the second receiver who had the highest yards, I think it was like 15 or 17
Keon
or something
Coleman.
like that. Yeah. Like, you can't beat the Chiefs with that. And Mahomes wasn't phenomenal last week either. You know, people say, oh, they got bailed out by the refs. I'm like, oh, whatever. It looked like a helmet to me. But anyway, that's besides the point. I feel like the Chiefs they're just better. They think that they're better coached. They got better dudes, in my opinion. I'm not sure. Josh Allen's going to have to do something crazy in order to pull this one out because I feel like the Chiefs, they already know what kind of game this is going to be, and I feel like they have the players to execute. We may see Xavier Worthy break off a 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, you never know. Honestly, I think the Bills are a worse version of the Chiefs. I feel like they're like the same, except one is just a better version of that formula. I look at the Bills. If they're going to win this game, one, James Cook is going to have to be great this game. The running game has to be good. And I think they're going to need to rattle Patrick Mahomes, force him to make a mistake, force him to throw the ball in harm's way, interception, fumble or something, and then capitalize off of that. If they don't do that, they're not going to win.
You know who the Bills actually, they kind of remind me of the Broncos with a worse defense. Because Bo Nix, I'm not saying Bo Nix and Josh Allen nearly the same. I'm just saying the way that they game plan, like they relying on his Bo Nix athleticism. They're not trying to tell him to do too much with his arm. Like Josh Allen definitely taking a step back in these playoffs as far as gunslinging and all that stuff. He's really been not managing the game. Like he's done a lot on the ground with his playmaking ability, but he hasn't really he's not lighting up the scoreboard or anything like that. And they just, I don't know, man. I just don't see how the Bills win this one. It's definitely possible. I mean, the Chiefs only favorite 2.5 points, and you get 3 just for being a home team. But the Bills just haven't beat the Chiefs in the play. I can't trust them. I can't.
Like you said with the Commanders versus Eagles game, it's going to come down to execution. It's going to come down to
who's going to play the 4 quarters of football.
Who's going to make the mistake? Who's going to make the biggest mistakes? And who's going to capitalize off those mistakes? Will it be the Chiefs or will it be the Bills? And recent history has shown Kansas City, it just seems like destiny. It just seems like the Chiefs are destined to get the 3-peat.
The Bills done lost Taylor Rapp for the game.
I don't know, man. I just think it feels like the Chiefs are destined to get 3-peat.
Yeah.
Be the first team to ever 3-peat in the NFL. Super Bowl calendar.
If the Chiefs 3-peat, Pat Mahomes the GOAT. I don't care what people say. Brady, he's phenomenal, but he ain't never did this. And obviously, it feels like Pat Mahomes is going to win more rings, get more rings eventually.
You said Brady's never done
Repeated,
that, but Patrick Mahomes never gotten 7 rings. So
he could. He'd have 4.
Yeah, you're right.
In his first 6 years in the league.
That is great, but
he still got like 12 more years.
Remember, Brady had like 3 rings his first like 5 seasons in the league. I'm just saying, like,
no, I get what you're saying.
That's still great. Shit. And then he didn't win for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm gonna put Pat Mahomes like from ability wise and like accolade projection wise. I think he'd end up the GOAT regardless.
Really, I'll put him at 2 because you still got.
So in order for him to pass Brady, he would have to at least win 7 in your eyes.
He would have to get probably 6.
Okay, 6.
Because 7 rings is just
that's crazy.
And then he broke so many records. I just think that you have to wait before we crown him as the king.
The only knock people have on Pat Mahomes is that he couldn't beat Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But like devil magic.
But you're looking I mean, wait. But I mean you see what he's doing now.
Brady had to pass it along. He had
to pass it along. I just look at the two, and football is more of a team sport than basketball.
Yes, absolutely.
So I understand people's argument to be made that it doesn't matter that Patrick Mahomes doesn't have more rings than Tom Brady because it's more of a team sport. It's like 53 guys instead of like 15 dudes in the NBA. So I understand that argument. But I still look at the fact that Brady beat Mahomes. It's going to take him to at least get to 6 for me to even say that Mahomes is better than Brady. Like right now, I could say easily Mahomes is better than Brady at his age. Or if we want to compare seasons, absolutely. But if we're talking about totality of the careers as of this moment, if Mahomes wins another Super Bowl, I can't put him over Brady. We have to respect the previous generation. We can't just automatically crown somebody when they did something unheard of when they were playing the game. So that's just how I feel about with Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes debate. But we both agree Chiefs over Bills championship game.
Just let me be.